Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel GMB Show. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. The Chase viewers were left fuming as they watched two players take the low offer before taking on Ann Hegarty, with some even vowing to switch off the show. Viewers of The Chase were left fuming as they watched two contestants make a shameful decision. Two contestants opted for the low offer before facing Ann Hegarty, also known as the Governess. On Wednesday's episode, November 13, of the popular ITV quiz show, Bradley Walsh introduced Alex, Izzy, Hoffen, and Ian, all hoping to bag some cash. First up was Alex, who got off to a flying start by correctly answering 7 questions in the Cash Builder round. Opting for a safe bet, Alex stuck with his original offer of £7,000. However, he stumbled during the head-to-head round and was easily caught by Ann. Next up was Izzy, who brought £6,000 to the table. She seemed unfazed by Ann's high offer of £56,000, but appeared torn between the other two offers. "I don't want to go low and then have loads of chances," Izzy confessed to Bradley, before Ann chimed in. She wants to go low, but she's afraid of being shamed. Izzy chose the low offer of £2,000, explaining that she really wants to be in the final chase, reports The Express. This decision sparked outrage among viewers at home, although Ann empathized with Izzy's strategy after witnessing Alex's elimination. Despite Ann closing in, Izzy made it through to the final chase. The third contestant to face Ann was Hoffen, who answered 4 questions correctly in the Cash Builder round. Izzy might have been expressing regret for taking the low offer, and despite Ian's encouragement to aim higher, Hoffen decided she'd play it safe and chose the measly £1,000 offer. Fans of the show went into a frenzy on social media, announcing they were hitting the off button after seeing another pair of contestants opt for the low offer. One fan vented online, "FFS, any more weeks like this with low offer takers and it's goodbye from me," while another exclaimed, "switched over to pointless." A viewer ranted, "Why do these people bother going on #TheChase if all they're going to take is the low offer? Not really worth the stress, is it?" Another said, "What is the point in taking the low offer all the time? You're there to win big money." Another wrote, "Everybody seems to be going low nowadays. Really shows you the desperate state our country's in." Post-Hoffen securing their spot in the final chase with a conservative play, Ian dared to dream big and accepted Ann's hefty high offer of £87,000. Alas, his efforts fell short against the Governess, leaving him ousted before he could elevate the team's winnings to a stunning £90,000. In the ultimate round, Izzy and Hoffen managed only 9 correct answers, allowing Ann to defeat them with ease, boasting heaps of time to spare. It started like any other episode, with Bradley Walsh's grin lighting up the studio and 4 hopeful contestants stepping forward to face the chaser. But no one expected Tommy, a 29-year-old warehouse assistant from Leeds, to spark a storm that would have viewers threatening to switch off in the middle of the show. Tommy had breezed through his Cash Builder, racking up $7,000 with a mix of lucky guesses and confident buzz-ins. The audience clapped, expecting him to take the middle offer and fight bravely against Ann Hegarty, who was in the hot seat that day with her piercing stare and a floral blouse that seemed to declare, "Don't even try me." Ann's high offer was a tempting £50,000, and even the low offer of £1,000 wasn't abysmal. But Tommy looked at the board, scratched his chin, and dropped the bombshell. "I'll take the minus $3,000. The silence that fell was colder than the studio air conditioning. Bradley's face froze mid-smile, then twisted into a look that said, "Are you serious, mate?" "Oh, Tommy," Ann sighed, shaking her head, lips curling into a smirk that the camera caught in full high definition. Within seconds, Twitter exploded. "Shameful behavior," one fan typed in all caps, tagging the official @ITV Chase account, while another wrote, "I'm actually switching off. What's the point of watching if players sabotage their own team?" GIFs of people rolling their eyes and slamming remote controls onto coffee tables began to flood timelines. Tommy didn't seem to care. He offered a meek smile, mumbling, "I just want to get back for the final, even if it's with less money." But the damage was done. As Anne effortlessly knocked out question after question, the chat groups across the country were alight with fury. "You're robbing your teammates. It's an insult to the game. Tommy, you're a disgrace." Even Bradley couldn't help a cheeky quip. "Tommy, you realize people are going to be screaming at their TV, yeah?" And they were. By the time Tommy returned to the team with a minus $3,000, he avoided eye contact with his teammates, who gave him polite but stiff nods. The final chase was tense. The team ended up playing for a much lower pot than they deserved, and although Anne ultimately caught them with 10 seconds to spare, fans were too busy ranting to care. As the credits rolled, Bradley said, "Bad luck, guys," but social media had already decided Tommy had ruined the episode. People posted screenshots of their TVs switched off, their angry faces reflected on the black screen, captions reading, "This is what you made me do, Tommy." And somewhere in Leeds, Tommy sat with a cup of tea, scrolling through the chaos he'd caused, quietly whispering, "Well, at least I tried." Meanwhile, the Chase producers knew one thing: Tommy's shameful decision had made for unmissable TV, even if people were too furious to keep watching.